A group of how many people captured you? 1. We came out from the trap. We were disarmed and captured. An army of 1. One morning I was sent on a mission as a military driver. My vehicle was hit. Almost all the team died. 7 men were in one UAZ vehicle and 7 in another one. The column consisted of 5 vehicles. 3 of them went back and 2 were riding on us in warm blood for the back for our infantry. UAZ arrived in front of us. I started firing with the machine gun. Enemy fire is intense. Our guys were giving them strong answering. Thank God. The enemy backed off about 20-30 meters. Our drone dropped the explosives. I noticed where the enemy was situated and also threw grenades. It seemed the assault was repelled. All good. Enemy showed no signs. We were sure we'd neutralized their assault team. 3 days later, I heard some voices in the dugout. "Dear neighbors, are you here? Guys, we've come." The voice got closer and closer. We waited a bit. The guys came to the exit and asked for his call sign. He gave no answer. My comrades started firing. "Guys, are you crazy?" and ran away. Luckily, it was snowing that day. Our drone pilots helped us to track an unfriendly neighbor who was working these 3 days deep in a stinking pit. We were sure no one was there, as it was a straight unmasked zone. We survived by miracle. We spent 3 days there without food and water. 2 Ukrainian soldiers were in a nearby hole. They didn't know either about us. They thought they were safe, just like us, something like that. As I see, the enemies from the vehicles were divided into 2 groups, one of which took place in a dugout. We heard digging, but we thought it was a mouse. One of them crawled out from under a tree root, hiding behind his fallen comrade, if you can call him that way. The 2 groups tried to contact and find each other, but found out the wrong address and came to us. We welcomed them warmly. We had no idea about their number or overall condition, so we gave them a fight, just a little. I threw 2 grenades, fired my Kalash rifle, knowing their defensive position. The second grenade didn't explode. I ran to the crossing, threw another one, and fired some more. I offered the enemy to surrender, but after that, there was silence. I wasn't sure if my actions had any effect. I went back to my dugout to restock on grenades, as my pockets aren't limitless. I made the 3rd run. I started a firefight against them in such a way to make me seem numerous and aggressive. I thrown 2 more grenades and offered surrender for the 5th or 6th time. Surprisingly, I heard a voice. I hid in a hole. Then the guys came. We sat there for 3 days without water or food. Then we were attacked with grenades. We decided to surrender. They said, "Okay, we surrender. Just don't shoot." The voice was hoarse and exhausted. It's not my first day in combat. I understand how they felt mentally and physically. After 10 grenades, I asked how many they were and their condition. They said, 1 wounded, 6 total. My heart just sank. How could it be? 6? Really? From where? Where did all of them come from? I was just speechless. My hands were shaking, legs wobbling, but somehow I managed. One guy, Caucasian looking, claimed to be half Ukrainian. He spoke Ukrainian even better than me. The first 2 came out with hands up, no weapons or gear. They left their weapons inside. The second pair came out. The 3rd group came out and stood in a line. They were looking at me, blinking, begging, praying, shaking, hoping I wouldn't kill anyone. The 6th one came out limping. It turned out he had a punctured lung. I don't know if he got hit due to my actions or due to earlier fights. I didn't have any opportunity to make a checkup or give first aid. Other guys took care of that then. Thanks to the guys for letting us out, not shooting us, and giving us food, drink, supplies, and medical care here. I lined them up in a friendly row, asked for phones and walkie-talkies, ammo, and to remove vests for inspection. I observed them. It seemed they had nothing dangerous. While contacting the command, it was daylight, not ideal time to be visible because of drone activity. Luckily or by chance, they weren't flying that afternoon. Our guys were filming and guiding my actions. I lined the enemies and said, "Guys, make a line." They made it in a prison manner. They stood up, hands like this, and started waddling in a half squat. I said, "What are you doing? Let's go quickly." Our guys met them at their positions. I had a small talk with them while I was bringing some of their weapons and gear to our colleagues. They treated them well and gave first aid. Though there are enemies, they know a valuable exchange found. We shouted to the Ukrainian soldier for surrender. He gave us such an opportunity. They treated us well, gave us food, water, even cigarettes. We gave them cigarettes and water. The enemy hadn't had anything for 3 days. 2 of the 6 were, let's say, proud Lugansk Republic fighters. Well, if you didn't want to defend your homeland, you're sent on suicide missions. That's their motivation. I don't get why they go on one-time assaults. It usually ends badly for them. We were sent on a mission. We were told it'd be empty, no one there. Just got there and come back quick, they said. By the night, the whole group was sent to another structure. From what I know, one of them, a former Luhansk resident, had quite an extensive military background. They had the grand plan to drive on us 10 kilometers deep in the rear and set up near some granny's house. Some grandma was supposed to meet them. Something about the Red House, it's baffling where they got such a plan from. I reckon most of the column knew the guys were heading to the death, but the groups didn't know. They walked right to meet us. We drove on and suddenly other group turned back. They yelled us, "Come on, forward," knowing the death was ahead. Then we had 4 or 5 days of absolute hell. No water, not even crumb of bread. We're expendable just meat to them. Of course, no one in the unit expected this. I'd only recently joined this particular unit. They knew I had combat experience, a year of it, not just months. Though I've been in the Ukrainian army since 2020, handling important logistical tasks, but the guys were quite surprised by my results. My first rotation was so intense. I told my wife I was just training for 2 months while I was actually dodging FPV drones in Terny, fighting with invaders and running from the attacking FPV. Well, she understood. I explained it when I got home. I said to her, "Look, I've got 2 medals, 3 concussions," and also I told her, "I'll be home for a month now. I need to rest between missions, but I'll keep working in combat. Logistics doesn't appeal to me anymore, no desire for it. Right now, state security is crucial. If this madness continues and the invaders continue advancing, all we worked for will be destroyed. Like Bakhmut and other cities, it's like locusts devouring everything to the roots. So I see the point in fighting on, showing up on the battlefield and trying to motivate those who still are hiding, thinking they're safe. Well, let's say teach them to do what I do. No, I don't have kids right now. Future plans? Maybe when this all settles and I leave the army, I'd like to try civilian life, finish education, and be a march raider, not just a scout gunner.